Hey YouTubers, welcome back today to some more models. Today we're going to be covering building your modern concrete warehouse by Walthers. Really excited to dive into this one. Did an unboxing review, and now that I've pulled the pieces out, and as you see here on the workbench, I've got the pieces laid out in the order that I'm going to use them. I underestimated just how amazing this kit is. Let's start off with the basics. Any experienced modeler knows that when you join two wall sections together, you typically have to go out and buy sheet styrene or square tubing or something to reinforce those edges so the building doesn't crumble when it gets handled. Walthers simplified that for us. The back of the buildings have little tabs that align with these holes that are on sprues and pieces of different sizes. So that way all of your joints are reinforced. Absolutely loving that feature. These little sticks here, that's for your roof line, so that way your roof has a nice ledge to sit on. And like this building, we're going to use both of the roof halves that are provided. So we got a nice little center line for the roof. That way our roof is reinforced as well. Absolutely impressed with how that's looking. Looking forward to showing you guys how that goes together and see how well it stands up. But it looks like it's going to be amazingly done. On the box art and in the directions shows two different buildings. The reason for that is this kit is designed to be modular, or allow you to modify the building to the space that you have. If you're doing primarily rail side of the building, you may not want to have all those truck docks on the other side. Or you might want to have a door on one side and not on the other. This kit will allow you to make one unique building with the basic kit. So they don't tell you how to put the pieces together, but they do tell you how they assemble. On the box art shows you one example of what this kit can make. I was going to use all of the pieces in this kit, however, with the size of the warehouse that I have laid out here on the workbench, I'm already concerned that I'm going to be able to sell this building, because that's my intent for it, is to build it and sell it as a built kit or a built structure. And the size, it has me a little concerned as is. So, for this video, don't look at the box art. Instead, open your instructions, and I'm going to be building the kit exactly as it's shown on the instructions on the two inner pages. There's a back view for the rail side and a front view for the truck and office side. So that's what you see laid out here on the workbench. That's what I'm going to build it to. That will use exactly both halves of the roof pieces provided without having to measure and cut the roofs or adding additional sheet styrene to it. I want to make it simple for new modelers. Now, I mentioned that this kit's awesome. What gives you the value of this kit and what makes it really awesome for me? Two extra wall sections, two extra truck doors, a third extra wall section, and a third office building section, and two extra doors. I have enough pieces right there to make two kits or two separate warehouses out of this one structure, one kit. Absolutely impressed with that. If you want to use all the pieces, knock yourself out. That you are going to have yourself one impressive facility on your layout. So I'm going to put all these side pieces or extra pieces aside. And I'm going to point out two more pieces. If you're a new model editor or a new modeler, you may have heard the term of a scrap part box. A box of pieces that you haven't used from previous kits or other items that you've purchased, and you just put them in one centralized box. So on the kit, you can see the side door back here. It's got a little light over it. It does have the wall sections for that. You can see a little slot for the lights that the kit does provide with it. However, I wanted to put it above one of the truck doors. If I line it up with the top of the building, there's a score mark up there. I'm not sure how well you can see it. The score mark's right on my thumb. It falls short of the other score mark by my index finger here. So if I were to cut this top piece off and swap it out with this, I would have a short wall section. Not really happy with that, but maybe I'll find something I can use this for in a scrap box or on another kit. So, not using them, but I'm not throwing them away. Now, in this video series, I'm going to model this building as very heavily weathered, used and abused by the company, and really reflect being milked for its value and its worth. So it's going to be heavily weathered by come the end. It's going to have a lot of cool features on it. The kit itself does include all of the air conditioner, rooftop details, and electrical boxes shown on the box art. So it's going to be really cool when it's nice and said and done and finished, and will make an interesting structure. I'm also getting ready for a trend show that's coming up. So this video is going to be heavily condensed, or this building series is going to be condensed, as I'm doing a 2-day build challenge. I have 2 days till this trend show, and I want to see if I can get this kit assembled, painted, weathered, and detailed, and ready to go in time to possibly sell at this trend show. So if you guys have this kit, grab your toolbox, let's get ready to build. I'm going to flip my first pieces over here, and I'm really only going to show you guys how to assemble this. I'm not really going to have you guys watch me assemble all of the wall sections. I'm going to assemble one side at a time, and then once all of the wall sections are glued together for each wall, then I'll move on to the process of gluing each edge together, each different segment together. That way we'll make our complete squared building. These wall sections have already been prepped. To prep them, if you're a new modeler, all I did was use some sprue cutters, snip out the parts using the flat end against the building wall, and then I used some files and a sanding block to sand down any imperfections that I found. One imperfection that I did note is on the rail dock door. You can tell it's the rail door because it has these two ears sticking off to the side. The truck doors don't have that. The bottom lip of it had a seam where the mold came together, so I did file that down to make sure that it was level. So I'm going to take some of these, I'm going to pop them out, and I'm going to lay them in place. Once it's all set, I'll come through some glue and secure it down. One other thing to note is that some of the roof ends, or building ends, the two wall sections, do have a 90-degree slot for you to square up your building with. So you want to pay attention to those when you're selecting which ones to use for your corner pieces. I didn't do that, so give me a second here, and I'm going to come through and do what I need to do to get that to be correct. here we go. So, as you notice, the wall securing pieces, I didn't worry about filing the edges down. No one's going to see it. I might have some doors open, a little bit of a warehouse interior, false interior, probably a picture backing. The office will have a bit of an interior, not too much. But ultimately, I'm not worried about many people seeing inside of the warehouse. Now, there's two ways that you can glue these on. The first way is to take your wall backing or joining piece, put some CA on there, and then put that on your wall section with the CA facing down. Might want to put a little bit of pressure on that, let that set for a minute. So while that sets, I'm going to show the second example, which is to take your wall piece, just like we had, your wall securing piece, put it over the wall sections that you want to join together. Make sure that they're nicely butted up against each other. One thing I want to do is I want to check the outside here. I don't like how that bottom is, but we'll see how that comes together. So you set your wall securing piece on there, and then where the little dots are, where they pop up, you're just going to put a drop of CA on there. The nubs on the building are round, and the holes for the nubs are squared. So there's plenty of room for the glue to soak into there. So there's those two ways to glue this on. Just to have the extra security, I'm going to be applying the glue to the bottom side of the strip and then putting the strip down onto it, just to make sure that we get a nice solid bond. I don't want these walls warping. And you saw earlier where I removed one because the piece was warped. Not too big of a deal. You just put some weight on it, it'll flatten back out. But I'm going to do mine this way. Won't fault you if you do yours differently.